question, when is a riot not a riot? I mean, in Brixton and Toxteth in 1981, in Bradford, Burnley and Oldham in 2001 even, there were sort of political motives and political targets. The cop shop, the courts, the town hall, these are the sort of places you go for in a riot, not JD Sports, Curry's, Foot Locker, and the kind of places that we saw this time around.
I think like certain things that we had, like swimming used to be free and stuff like that. I think it gave a place for children to go, and cuts and stuff like that don't give opportunities for children who are less fortunate to go and enjoy stuff in holidays, so they result to causing like havoc and stuff like that.
You know, you can't blame the youth for being fed up and feeling disenfranchised and feeling there's nothing for them, because there doesn't seem to be anything for them these days. There's no jobs for them, there's nothing for them to do, nowhere for them to go, apart from hang around on street corners.
Schooling in deprived areas is disrupted by bad behaviour. Teachers no longer have recourse to punishment and can't count on support from parents.
Shoot out the youth. They need calming down. They need, I don't know what they need, but they need something to control, because it's not on. Where's the parents? Where are the parents all there?
I decided to focus on the riots. One of the main things I wanted to focus on was whether a lack of discipline in young people was one of the fundamental reasons why the riots actually started.
Poverty, youth unemployment.
In terms of the riots spreading across London and places like Bristol, Manchester and Birmingham, I believe that was a trend.
There's been a lot of tension over the years with various groups and with the economic situation the way it is.
And the reason I think it spread across the country is because a lot of youth and young adults feel alienated in today's society.
I think a lot of youth saw to get free stuff and not get in trouble for it as a trend, and it just spread. So if someone would get a TV, there'll be envious kids saying, well, I want one, and then it just got out of hand.
I think they were very biased against what the cause was actually about in the first place.
I think there was a lot of stereotypes used, especially in the news broadcasts. A lot of hooded youths were shown.
I feel like the media portrayed visually the real events of what happened. However, I feel like the media classed the youths as all of us were bad. All of them were doing wrong, and that wasn't the case. You had a lot of different people involved in the riots, a lot of different classes of people involved in the riots, business people, school people, as well as young people. I think the government needs to be a lot more diplomatic, and the media needs to show more sides, not just focusing things on one race or one community. I definitely think there's a lack of discipline among the youths because, number one, why do they feel that they are able to behave in that way or that behaviour is acceptable?
Parents are more lenient towards their kids, and there isn't as much discipline as there used to be.
Yeah, definitely. Because if there was discipline, there would be fear, and then there would be a sense of character.
Number two, you had a lot of parents that were involved in the riots, helping their children to steal a lot of stuff, which obviously is not setting a good example to their child.
There was no discipline, there was no sort of direction, so that has a big part to play in it, I'd say.
I think parents have also lost some control through various laws, like they made it illegal to hit your children. So I think this is, I'm not saying hitting your children is right, but it's made the parents a bit scared of what they can actually do to discipline their children, and as a result, we've got some rowdy kids out there. To answer your question, I do think, to some degree, that the lack of discipline did play a part in the riots.
For the classes that it dealt with, probably it was, because it's like they're being shocked by their own actions and by the fact that actually they've been pulled up by it and they've been caught.
The government's no-tolerance approach was effective in the sense that 400 people, or around 400 people, were arrested during the course of the 3 days of the riots, and 69 others were convicted. I feel like the police did do quite a lot of work to try and stop the riots.
For the people who are actually being affected by the issues that were surrounding it in the first place, like the economy, you know, the gang stuff and all that kind of stuff, I don't think so. I think we've only seen the start of the real crux of the matter, to be quite honest with you.
To be honest, I think the sentencing was pretty harsh because they basically just decided to penalise everyone that they could find. But to be honest, I think some of the people out there were just doing like copycat. They were just going there because their friends were there. I'm sure more than half of them kids have not got a criminal record.
I think a lot of people will think about it now before they get involved. I think a lot of people got in trouble for it and a lot of people got sentenced, therefore a lot of other people will be scared. But I do think something like this could happen again. I think if you get a load of people that are determined to do what they want to do, then it would happen again. But I do think that a lot of people were dealt with by the law and a lot of people were sentenced, so therefore a lot of people would feel or think twice before they do that sort of thing again.
It might deter a few people, but not the majority. I think it'll just cause the majority to be a bit more careful, because if you remember, some of the youths didn't cover their faces. They were quite brave about it. So to be honest, they could just go out in disguises and still go do the same thing as long as they don't get caught.